Bethany Chambers here for IRONPROS Hot 5. Today we have Dennis Shaw, Managing Director of PlantDemand, joining us. Dennis is the co-founder of the company. He and his friend Daniel were at college a decade ago when they found some ideas that they wanted to put together and created their college thesis together. At the time, they came out of school and wanted to look for a project that they could work on professionally as well. And as Dennis went into the design and technology space and Daniel went into heavy construction working at asphalt plants, they realized that as they kept brainstorming, they kept coming back to one problem that they needed to solve, something that really affects those who are working in the asphalt space. So thank you for joining us tonight from Munich, Dennis. Tell us more about PlantDemand and that problem you were trying to solve.
Thank you, Bethany, for having me. So basically, PlantDemand is a scheduling tool for asphalt plants and quarries and all the different suppliers active in the supply chain. And it helps them to find the demand that they have and share it in real time with everyone involved, from the salespeople to the plant crew, the quality assurance and management, and so on. And it's basically, the way we think about it is that everything that's going to happen in the future, we help you get a better picture of. So the demand you have, the amount of production you need, and from that, you can go on and create plans for how much to produce it every day, and action plans, how many trucks to run, and so on.
What is your North Star at PlantDemand? What inspires you?
We're working towards a future where the paving requests that our customers actually have and the end customers of our customers automatically trickle upstream across the supply chain. So we see that the suppliers and the paving crews and all these things, they need to be scheduled, they need to be informed, they need to prepare their different materials and equipment, and they need to have an accurate picture for what work is coming up and what kind of demand they have. So in order to do that, we have different mechanisms where we can get hooked early into the process when projects are still early ideas or proposals, and get a forecast on these ideas. And then we can help as the plans become more concrete. What we see is that orders are updated at least 5 times before they're actually delivered and go out the door for our customers. And we kind of help make sure that everyone is informed. Again, the sales people, the quality assurance people, the management people, the plant foremen, the operators, and the management chain, from the local plant management to regional management, and then on the bigger companies like company-wide things and forecasting. Every one of these wants to have the data as quick as possible, as up to date as possible, and continuous as possible. So before, what people would have to do is they would kind of have to recollect and re-aggregate all this data at each management level and at each function level. And what we do is we bring it in one place, we make it accessible to different systems, to BI tools, to data warehouses, and to the reporting that we have inside our own tooling, and keep everyone involved, keep everyone informed, track the changes, and keep everyone happy that way.
It's no secret that there are hard times as a tech company leader. You really have to be able to look forward and imagine your software in the future. What do you picture when you think of the future of PlantDemand?
So I guess to see the future, I first have to think of where we're coming from, and what we see when we look back is that there are 2 different modes that we saw our customers working in. One is the Stone Age mode, where we see people working on paper and whiteboards and really having no shared planning whatsoever. And then we have this intermediate place where people realize there's a problem, they try to solve it, and they solved it with big enterprise systems. The thing is, these are clunky, they're not designed for the way that people actually work in the asphalt industry. And what we see now going forward into the future is that there are specialized tools, not just for specifically PlantDemand, but in all of the software space. We're moving away from having one giant bulky tool, but we are going to have many different small specialized tools that solve problems in a really, really good way for exactly this group of people. And they integrate and they talk to all the other systems. And through that, we're going to have a lot less stress on the day-to-day operation level, and we're going to have a lot better insights on how things are going, how data is flowing throughout the organizations. The interesting thing about how we started PlantDemand is that we did it really by talking to people on the plant level from day one and looking what are the problems that you have and showing them here are some ideas how we would solve the problem, and like iteratively coming to building tooling that really supports how they're working on the everyday. We started with a small group of 10 customers in the beginning when we founded the company, and we've grown now to 100 or more sites that are using it. And each time we talk to a new group of customers, they will go in front of the big group of executive C-level management and say, we need this tool. Without this tool, we are not able to deliver our plans this year. Like, do not take this away from us. We want to keep working this way.
Why do you care about the problem that you're solving, and how far are you willing to go to solve it? And I think we've already sort of hit on that, because your friendship with Daniel and the fact that he was actually working in this space meant that you were trying to solve something that he was dealing with day in and day out. But now that you're both here on the software side, what makes this still so important to you?
We bootstrapped this company 9 years, almost 10 years ago. And then the first years didn't take a salary just because we really believed in this, put all the income that we had into developing it further, hiring more people to develop it further, and growing this business. So we really believe that there's a problem that we're solving. But we also regularly check in with our customers. We see what frustrations they have in their everyday, and we see the value that we bring and the passion that they share about our product and about the working with us. We have customers that we talk to very regularly about feedback, about ideas that they have, and seeing this passion and seeing this impact is very, very valuable and very motivating for me. And also, I think what we see now that we're getting past this basic point of just gathering information is that we can also see the kind of impact we can have with this information. So one example of this is that we can really see how people are using our tooling in order to plan what kind of recycling material is coming in. So people are able to schedule the recycled material that comes in. They can plan this. They can make their team aware of this. And what we are seeing now with the rising energy prices, with these prices, we are able to help people forecast the kind of energy demand they're going to have, the kind of bitumen raw oil demand they're going to have. And we're able to help them optimize. And seeing this, I think this is you can make some houses a little bit more efficient, but the kind of energy we consume on a regular basis, if we're able to save here, we can have really, really big impact. And I hope to be a part of that.
How do you stay on the leading edge? It's so competitive out there.
Yeah, of course, the software space moves pretty fast. I think now the construction space is catching up to this. We have our team members trained on a variety of different methodologies, right? So it starts from having the kind of design thinking methodology to really understand how people are working, research and do customer research, making sure that we use the latest technical architecture and cloud development technologies and keeping up to date there.
That's a unique answer, one that we don't typically hear here on Hot 5, because a lot of people don't come from the background of design thinking. They come purely from the background of the technology, right? They get really into the weeds of what the software can do, not rather whether it should do those things.
I think one of the interesting patterns that I see with the customers that onboard with us is that often we're one of the first tools that they use that are kind of in this modern specialized tooling space. And once you kind of get the touch of that, it's like, oh, I don't need to use the boring old gray 30-year-old system. I can also use modern things, and it actually solves our problems. It works better. You see them become more open to the idea. And what we see is that then they start looking, okay, let's use a specialized tool for tracking a GPS. Let's use drones to measure our stockpile, or vision augmented weight measuring, and so on. So I think, and that's also the big message that I want to send. Like, now that with modern technology and with this kind of startup ecosystems and us being able to build smaller, more dedicated tools, we can take these smaller upcoming technologies, glue them together, have them talk to each other, and build really like purpose-built things exactly for smaller operations, for more nimble operations, temporary things, and react faster to what's coming. And I think being able to create this mindset is a really big step, and I think that will change the industry.
Everyone says their software is the easiest to use, and you mentioned before that yours was different and the best out there on the market. What are some objective things you can tell us to point at and back that up?
We do actually track a lot of different metrics and performance characteristics about our tooling to see how are people using it and how usable is it. So to give some examples, like in under 2 seconds, you can move an order to another day if there is a problem. So if your plant breaks down, in a couple of minutes, you've rearranged your plan or to move it to another day or another plant, and so on. It takes 2 clicks for the operator to see his oil needs for the day. So he can know if if the material or the oil he has on site will last him for the day. It takes the dispatcher in the morning or maybe on the day before also 2 clicks to send out the dispatch report to the team. So everyone in the team is aware of what's going to come up the next day, and people are using this information in a variety of different ways. Again, 2 clicks for the superintendent to create a report about the rock, the material input that he needs, and share it with his suppliers. And another 2 clicks for our salesperson to see a report of to see their per month breakdown of a sale by customer and react to that. Yeah, also we see as part of onboarding, like usually we have a 30-minute call with our customers, and after that 90% of people can start using our tooling right away. So and of course the biggest metric is how much people are actually scheduling with us, and we see that we recently hit 200 million tons of raw material scheduled with us. So if you're looking at something like $50-$60 a ton, that means we have over $10 billion of revenue that we've kind of managed through our software. And that's a pretty impressive number.
Well, that's a great point to end us here on our interview with today, Dennis, because I think you'll definitely be appearing again in our Construction Tech Talk series with Chuck Rathman. And I'm really excited to hear more about APIs and BI, because I think that's going to be something that our audience really wants to know more about. Well, thank you again, Dennis, for joining us here on IronPros Hot 5.
Thank you, Bethany, for having me.